There you go. Oh, thumbs up from Kat. That means we're live. Kat, morning. Let's start with the weather. Come on, Kat. Oh my gosh. I have not been singing in the shower or the bath today, but it's miserable here in Birmingham. What's it like in sunny Newcastle? What is it like the weather?
Miserable. Absolutely miserable. But it always is up here in the northeast. What am I kidding? I'm used to it. This actually might be my summer.
This is your tropical summer, is it, Kat? Yeah, I get it. Listen, if you're watching us live, hopefully you are. There's lots of people signed up for a live session. Just a reminder, this is Kat and I. We do a 10 at 10 every Wednesday as we count down to the conference. We're 4 weeks out as of yesterday, which is remarkable. It's the time has flown by, Kat. I hope you agree.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But the pressure's on. Yeah, so we are now clearly under the cosh a bit. We've got hundreds and hundreds of people signed up for day and night. We've got full agendas. Poor Kat is pulling everything together in the background with speakers and panels and you name it. Kat's been doing it. But yeah, 10th anniversary. So the point of these sessions, we've had loads of great feedback, by the way, so thank you, is a reminder that it's been our 10th anniversary. We're doing 10 at 10 because it's 10 o'clock. And we're going through 10 points, which we'll go through in a second. So, Kat, what's your week been like before we start, as we let people coming in? I can see them coming in at the side. What's your week been like? What have you been up to other than bouncing rain drops off your head? What have you been up to?
It's been a very busy conference-heavy week. I mean, it's the name of the game at the minute. So as you say, yeah, I've been putting our panel prep calls into place with our hopefully not too nervous speakers. I'm really excited about those. Again, I think all the information and speakers should be on the website now if you want to have a nosy or come and be surprised on the day. I've had my head buried in our award nominations, so trying to score those, which has been absolutely incredible. The amount of nominations we've received, the quality of the nominations received. I mean, every year we say it, but every year it just gets better and better. And God, and the fact that everyone is so supportive of us and jump on these things and all those things that they're doing in real world jobs, absolutely fantastic. So yeah, that's pretty much been my week. Conference, and a little bit of House of Lords starting in my rear view mirror as well.
Yes, and because look, I know, Kat, we don't really get time off. Let's be honest. We have lullish periods, but we are just full on. So once we get conference out of the way, you've got House of Lords, and then we're into 2026 semester. So we've got constant. But yeah, let's talk about the awards, because as a reminder, the awards are now, obviously the nominations are closed. Kat and I have had all the judges' scores back, and we are now going through those. We're collating those. But yeah, just reading out a couple of the judges. We'll remind the audience in a second who the judges are. By the way, if you're watching this live, put us a comment in. Send us a morning. Tell us where you're from, what company you're from again. Sometimes we can see the comments, sometimes we can't. So if you're watching live, just drop us a comment. It always helps. So yeah, so the awards, Kat, so we've got the wonderful Karen Young, who's a director at Hayes. She always agrees not only to be a speaker for us. This year, Karen's actually joining a panel, which will be amazing, to give her thoughts from an industry expert point of view. So Karen's going to be on a panel with us. But she's a judge. She's judged for many years. And she's celebrating a rather special birthday, let's put it that way. And while she's celebrating her birthday for the last couple of weeks, she's been judging. So in between, I don't know, she's like Bionic Woman, isn't she, Kat? She's anything that's sporty, Karen gets up to. But her comments to us when she sent her final list over to us was just, and it started with, wow, wow, wow.
Yeah.
And the exact comment was literally, every year the nominations seem to just up the level, the amounts, but the quality. And that was the opening statement from Karen. And she just poured her heart out onto this email, which was lovely to read, because you and I know, Kat, the amount of time it takes to read every single nomination. We do have an independent judging panel that do that from the association. Kat and I get our view, obviously, but the independent judges come back with their views. This year, not only have we got Karen Young, we've got the amazing Sid Vasili, who has been a prominent member of our community for many, many years. So he's one of the OGs, they call it. I think that's what the kids call it, Kat.
Yeah.
Sid is a new judge this year, very independent. He came back with some amazing comments. His comments were amazing. Again, just saying how not only underappreciated the world of accounts payable and procure to pay were, but just when you read the nominations, you realise what our teams, our people go through. So Sid was blown away, which was amazing. And then on top of that, we then had the amazing guru that is Mary Schaefer. So if you want to know anything about accounts payable from the guru, that's Mary. So Mary agreed to be a judge again this year as an independent judge. And again, Mary's comments, thoughts around all the nominations were just mind-blowing. So look, a big thank you to our judges, independent of myself and Cass. My business partner, Neil Hollister, who's the CEO of the Payroll Centre, also has a view. So there's 6-7 independent judges that go through the awards. And yeah, every year we say, Kat, you know, amazing nominations, the amount, it's record breaking, it was again this year, but the pure quality this year was just mind-blowing. So thank you for that. Now, Kat, before we start on the 10 at 10, let's just remind people about what's going on conference-wise. Unofficially, we've sold out, and I say unofficially because I say this every year. Then you and I jump on calls. Exams today sold out. If the allocation happens and everything goes to plan, which we hope it will, we are sold out. Now, what we do each year is we always reserve a whole bunch of tickets for members, for influencers, and on occasion, people can't take them. So this week, we've had a member who's not unfortunately able to attend, so dropped out very last minute. So we've got some ticket allocation. So if you are a member or an influencer, you're not taking a ticket, please go and do so because we reserve those for you. If you've not been to a conference or you've sat on the reserve list, we've got some that's become available. So reach out to our team. Let me share, if it allows me to. Here we go. Go down here, go onto the website, apassociation.com, conference overview. There we go. As the one we created earlier. You'll see the overview of the conference. There is still a couple of tickets left, I think, for day. Gala dinners, we struggle a little bit because, again, that sells out really, really quickly, but you might be lucky if you reach out to one of us. But as I say, as we get closer in that last 4 weeks or so, we always get a few tickets that become available. So if you want to reach out to us, and we will clearly see what we can do on your behalf. Right. Okay, enough about that, Kat. Let me hide that again. So 10 at 10, Kat. So what's the topic this week? And I'm going to ask you the first question. So what's the 10 at 10 this week?
This week's 10 at 10 is the 10 things we love about our APA community. So it's all about everybody watching this. Nervous. They're all nervous now. They're like, oh no, we're going to get name and shamed.
Yes, I'm going to start sharing a few screens. So we've got the wonderful Suzanne on the call here. Here we go. Just 2 seconds. Watch this, Kat. Look, Suzanne, just for you. This is just for you. Look who's sitting next to me. There you go. The gong, Suzanne. That's just for you.
Hey.
So there you go. So hopefully that makes you all happy. That's a knitted gong, by the way. So Suzanne, I'm sure you can make a fortune if you sold these online or did. I think you did actually. I think you do this. Thank you for joining us this morning, Suzanne. Dale's on the call as well. So, Dorset. There you go. Sunny Dorset. Dale, what's going on, mate? The rains across the country. What can I say? So let's start. So as Kat said, today's session, the 10 at 10, is all about why we love about our AP community. Hopefully you do as well. Put in the comments why you love the APA community. So the first one, I'll ask you, Kat. So what is the very first one? So it's the willingness to share. So explain that one to me. What does that mean, Kat?
I mean, I think I've talked about it on a few of these sessions about how much our community connect with each other and share, whether it's a best practice, whether it's a horror story, whether it's a clever hack. No one keeps the good stuff to themselves. We all share it. And I think particularly when you're having a bad day, it's nice to have that willingness to share that, it's not all sunshine and awards for us. We have bad days and we get each other through it. And certainly from when I was a member of the community, I very much felt that when I had some struggles or had some hacks, it was really fantastic community to have that share quality, and they still do it now.
Yeah, I think you're right, Kat. And again, I think it's I would use the willingness to share a safe environment. I think that's the way I would say it, Kat, because you're quite right. When you joined as head of education, you came straight out of industry, and it was quite nerve-wracking for you to come into an industry you've not been used to. You saw it from the other side, but what you now know from the back, from the back team here that we support, is the willingness to share. But it's that in confidence, what we do to support. We have hundreds of conversations with our members in our community in the background. So the willingness to share is what a community is all about. And they're so supportive. Everybody that joins, conferences, forums, online platforms like today, everybody just so supportive. You never get any what they call negative Nellies. Everybody wants you to win. And that's the reason why this has been going for 10 years. So the second one, which I'm going to take on, if that's all right, Kat, is the supportive spirit, where one person has a challenge and it's almost like everybody steps up, don't they? So the supportive spirit of our community, literally everybody's there. So, and I'm going to use some live examples. So we've all gone through some strange, tough times over the last few years, where people have been made redundant, they've moved roles, they've had some challenging times. What's so lovely about our community is the spirit. They raise everybody up. They take them under their wings. They make sure everybody's feeling good about themselves. But then they support each other with roles and opportunity. So very recently, very recently, we had a member of ours who has recruited another member of ours into a role because she was made redundant. And we've seen that so many times. And people watching in the comments now, I'm guessing a few of you have got new roles on the basis of our community, the APA, whoever. But it's that supportive spirit that's really at the heart of what we do. And it's lovely. You'll see that as the people come in this morning, they're all good morning, chatting away live in the comments. That's what makes the APA community very special. We're not one of these organizations or these institutes, or we're not saying that they're boring, but we are all about community. The community spirit's really important to us. What's your thoughts on that, Kat?
Yeah, absolutely agree. And as you mentioned, when I did take this role, the community were incredibly supportive of me taking this role, because I was very nervous, did very much have imposter syndrome, and it's continued for the 2 years I've been in this role. Like, I couldn't have done anything without the community support. So thank you very much, everyone. And I'll be in touch shortly for more asks and support this afternoon on our influencer call, probably.
Well, there you go. We have indeed. We've got an influence call this afternoon. So, Kat, over to you for number 3.
Yep, it is the Pride in Accounts Payable. So our members champion the profession and show the real impact accounts payable has on a business. I mean, I think that one pretty much speaks for itself. We all are absolutely passionate about the accounts payable world. Obviously, Jamie, that's why you started this association 10 years ago in a room by yourself, and look at how it's grown because of that passion in our profession.
Yeah, and you're right, Kat. I think the thing is, I get lots of pats on the back, for starting the profession. I didn't start the profession; it was already there. All I did was I gave it some sort of community, some sort of voice, and then let's be honest, the APA would be nothing without people like yourself and the community around it. I just pulled us all together, crazy enough, and sat in a room. But yeah, so the pride in accounts payable is just something that it's very indescribable unless you go to an event of ours. So if you come to conference and you walk in, you've never been to a conference, or you've never been to one of our conference, you walk in there and you go, well, it just feels familiar. It just feels like we're part of something that I should have been here I should have been all along all the time. And that's the great thing. Everybody wants to, be part of it. Everybody's recommending and supporting one another. So the pride in AP and procure to pay is just phenomenal. And long should it continue. I've got some special news, or we've got some special news at conference, which is all around that, about the future of our industry and our profession. So again, if you remember and you've not got your ticket, get it. If you've not been to one of our conference, and we might have a couple of spaces, come along, because to say we've got exciting news for the future is the understatement, as Kat knows. But I won't say any more because Kat and I get into trouble. Right, okay, over to number 4. Yeah, thank you, Kat. Over to number 4, the energy at events. That's the one that always it blows our socks off, doesn't it, Kat? It's again, a story for you. 2017, I think I mentioned it on one of these previously, Kat. We had the wonderful Linda, who joined very first person through the doors in 2017. That was our very first conference. So we accepted the business in 2015, but our very first conference was 2017. It was very quiet, the first conference, as you can imagine. We were all sitting there going, we don't know what we're going to do. We're a bit unsure. Even I was unsure at the front about what this is all about. But then every conference since 2017, the energy, the passion has just continued to grow and grow and grow, to the point now where I can see in the comments, actually, here we go. Oh, yeah, let's put her on here. This young lady here, Marcia, she was very quiet in the early days. I don't want to speak on stage. I don't want the microphone. Please don't get me on stage. Oh my word! Give Marcia the microphone now. You have to wrestle it off her. And what's lovely about that is that it's the confidence, it's the passion, the energy that the team have, because they're in that safe environment. They feel confident. They can voice their opinions. And Kat, you must have had this, because for you to progress your career and stand up in front of 400 or 500 people on conference, it's all about that energy it gives you, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. It doesn't matter sort of how you feel when you go into it. That energy is just undescribable. And, I've walked into some events of ours, especially with traveling, and you've slept in a strange bed, and I'm like, oh, I'm a bit groggy today. And then the second I walk into the room, it just hits you, and it's better than any energy drink on the market. Better than any coffee.
Yes, look, yes. So we're not. We should sell this, shouldn't we? We should bottle up the energy, Cat, and sell it as an energy replacement rather than energy drinks. But yes, I think you're right. I think it's wonderful. The community is amazing, but you just, if you go to a conference, for instance, you get all that energy at the start, throughout the day, and it zaps you. By the end of the day, you are tired, and then we have to take our second set of energy and our wind to get for gala dinner. So that's the thing with this. It's just phenomenal. The next day, I think it's called snowballing or something, whatever. Brad Burton used to tell me about it. He said, after a conference, you have that come down, you have that feeling of, wow, what happened yesterday? Almost like a sort of a birthday or a Christmas, whatever. You have that at our conference because you just think back of all the amazing things that happen. But the energy is the core thing, what we do. So number 5, it's the laughs along the way. And this is one. And by the way, Kat pulls these together. And it is phenomenal, the laughs that we have. We always say we inject a bit of fun at our conferences. I always try and inject a couple of jokes in my speeches, which always have a bit of tumbleweed that go across. I don't think people get my humour. But the laughs along the way that we have is just amazing. Literally, the people in the chat today are so supportive of one another. And the lovely thing that we have is that when people go to conference, they look forward to it as it's the one thing they want to do at a conference or an event. They want to get together with their friends, their colleagues, not only from their own organization, but from the community as well. We've had a few standout funny laughs, Kat. Anything that comes to, look, here we go. I'm not the shy one. I'm the shy one. There you go. Yeah, well, of course you are, Marcia. But so along the way, we've had some real laughs. Anything that stands out from you, Kat, around our conferences or events?
I think a recent one from Forum is when we kind of got a chant going for the samosas from lunch. Like, absolutely phenomenal.
It's trending samosas. That's right. And again, we just have pop-up birthdays at our events. We go off script a bit, don't we, Kat? Which is usually, and these lives will go off script, but generally the energy, the laughs along the way is something that we really promote. But imagine going to your CFO and go, look, can I go to a conference? I want to get re-energized. I'm going to have a real laugh. They'll go, yeah, forget it. You're not going to that conference. But the reality comes down to these are the things that you get. And I just put a comment on there from Stuart. It's like you're talking to friends and family. #APA Energy. You're absolutely right, Stuart. That's the feeling. I know that Costas, who talks to a lot of our members, he uses the family word a lot. I'm not overly a big fan of using family when we're a professional body, but at the same time, it gives you that feeling. Deep down, you do feel part of a community and that energy. So, Kat, where are we now? Number 6. What's number 6?
Number 6 is the diversity of voices. From seasoned leaders to those just starting their careers, everyone has something valuable to bring. And also in our community, we don't just have AP professionals, we have advocates of our profession. So whether it's from our credit control counterparts, procurement, CFOs, we've got, the likes of Robert Brooker, a fraud expert, Susan Walsh, who's like a data expert, like just the diversity that brings. And obviously it makes my job a lot easier when I have to put panels together that I can have this plethora of people to choose from. But yeah, absolutely fantastic. And they're not shy about using their voices either as the years have grown.
And I think, yeah, Kat, and I think the way I look at that is that it's very difficult. When you work in industry, you work in a business, AP or procure to pay, you're always seen as the one that listens to, and why would we have opinion, and why would we think you deserve a place at the table, if you like. But the reality, when it comes to our community and we go to our events, everybody feels like they should be there, and everybody feels like they should be, they've got a voice. And I think that's the thing for me, that it feels that way going forward, that what should really happen is you should continue that voice. You really should feel that you've got your opinion really matters. And that's the core part of who we stand for, community and the voice. But you're right, that opinion is just so important. It's just one of those ones where, yeah, I mean, I'm going to put a comment from Diane in a second on the screen that I've just seen come in. And the evolution of the AP is not just about voice, it's about how we are as a professional and a professional body. And it's what's important for us is that you keep having your voice and you keep getting heard. So that sort of the diversity of voices is so important to us. And it's across a plethora of people that we support in industries. So it's really important. So number 7, let me dive into this one. The drive to learn and grow. Training, team lives, webinars, sessions. Our community never stops investing in itself. It's like anything. Everybody can go along to free stuff and get free resource on YouTube, and we all think because we've just downloaded a bit of resource off the internet. We might buy a book and we might learn a bit. You learn more when you're with others. You learn from others. You learn from training with others. You learn in investing in yourself and investing in your team. Now, clearly, as a professional body, an organisation that sells training, we would absolutely advocate, training and education. And Kat would, that's a job, head of education. But if you want to be the best of who you can be, you need to invest in yourselves. So definitely go and do the freebies, the LinkedIn Lives. But at all times, if you can, either get your organisation to support you or invest in yourself. That's how this thing has grown. The exciting news we've got the conference about that, and how we can keep investing in you. We are, yeah. There we go. Over to you for number 8.
The collaboration across borders, AP professionals from different industries, region, and even countries connecting through the APA. We actually have a Crossing Borders video series coming out. Probably it'll be post-conference now, with the wonderful ambassadors Sarah Turner from SSE and Mandy Wilson. We have Mary Schaefer as well. And we'll be reaching out in much more ways across the borders, education-wise, into 2026. So watch this space.
There you go. So collaborate, and again, we plan to do an awful lot more in terms of internationally, and so for instance, we're supporting one of our partners tomorrow. There's a credit conference, which I know the wonderful Gemma's speaking at. She's hosting a panel over in Ireland. So she said earlier she's in Dublin. Ross, who works in our team, is the head of partnerships. Ross is flying over to Ireland this afternoon. It's his birthday. Let's have a shout out for Ross. Yeah, it's his birthday today.
Birthday,
he's 21
Ross.
Again. There you go. It's not that I forget about these things, but yeah, happy birthday, Ross. I'm sure you're watching this live. So Ross is flying out to the wonderful team over at Order to Cash Labs. They've got their credit conference. Gemma's a speaker there. I would have been live on stage with Gemma, but it's also 26 years to the day tomorrow since I got married. So being in Dublin, in fact, where I did spend our honeymoon, or being at home with the wonderful Mrs. R, I had to choose Mrs. R. I didn't have to. I did. So have a wonderful conference tomorrow. The team at OTC Labs. Ross will be there to support you. And Gemma, you'll smash it out of the park as you always do. Okay, so collaboration is always a key. Number 9, the generosity of time and knowledge. It's a key area that we love here at the APA. our ambassadors, the people that represent the APA, our influencers, those top 100 influencers that we recognise each year, and members freely give their expertise to help uplift others. And that's the great thing about the community. And I mentioned it earlier, Kat. People say, "Oh, Jamie, what a great job you've done at creating this big community." The community was already there. All I've done is shape it, give a voice, and give a platform, and it's grown. It's continued to grow. And just by remembering that and being the person that can, absolutely say that I was part of the start of this, but remembering that this is the APA's community, this is your community, the people you're watching this live or on replay. That's the thing that's so much more important. And when I put Diane's comments on here, community is a better word. And okay, she's mentioned the CISM don't really recognise they have a community. What Diane refers to there is that all the other institutes that represent all the other industries, they are professional bodies, absolutely, and that they have so much recognition from us. They are amazing what they do. We built our organisation on community first, and we built a professional body along the way. So that's the importance, and the generosity of time and knowledge comes not only from people like Cass, Head of Education, our ambassadors and influencers, but from the whole community. So Kat, last one, number 10, before we start reminding people about some other bits for conference this year.
And finally, we have the friendships built. So beyond invoices and processes, this is a place where people find real connection, belonging, and community. It's a nice way to end it.
It is. Again, so one of the things we announced last week or the week before that Brad Burton is going to be a keynote speaker, which, let's be honest, Kat, if we'd not brought Brad back for the 10th anniversary, well, I think you and I would have been he hung from a lamppost somewhere. So Brad's coming back. Now, on that basis of community, I don't know if you remember I think it was 2019, Brad did his first keynote. We had Heather Peters at the back of the room with her partner. And as we were recording the live video, Heather got so emotional because he had a standing emotion. Everybody in the room was getting emotional, if I'm honest. Everyone was in tears and laughter and big round of applause. That she then reached out to her partner, gave him a big kiss, big smacker, and got caught on video. And Brad's used it in his show reel forever. Now, we're not saying that we've created, relationships and marriages, etc., but we have created a lot of friendships. And the friendships will last forever. The community will last forever. And that's an absolute must. So all these professional bodies out there, the bit you're missing out on is the community part. If you really want to be super successful, try and mirror what we've done for 10 years. Build friendships, build community, build trust from all those people. And again, like Kat's put on the screen there, it's like having a big AP team in your back pocket. We couldn't put it in better words, Stuart, than you put it there. It really is. You have this huge extended team in your back pocket. Any guidance, any support you need, it's always there for you. So it's not only friendship, it's the expertise. Kat and I know about things like the influencer WhatsApp group and our new platform that we've got. But what sits behind us is this just amazing community. So hopefully you will join us this year as we celebrate the 10th anniversary. 10 years on, where are we? We're a huge community now. We're global. We've got lots of global members and global community members. But what's at the heart of us? It's us. It's you. It's the people who are watching this. And again, I can't say much more about what we're going to announce at conference because it's only 4 weeks. I'm just going to keep the gob shut for 4 weeks, Kat. I think even I can do that. But we've got some amazing news for you all at conference. So, Kat, just remind us, but as we sort of close out for today, what are we expecting at conference and gala dinner? Let's just do a whistle-top tour of the sort of things that we're doing on the 14th of October this year.
So again, we'll be greeted by our wonderful APA team for registration. So again, if you were with us last year, you'll walk in, there's some fancy machines now. It's not paper and pen. That's if I was organising, it would be paper and pen because, people know me and technology is not the best. And then you'll have fantastic exhibitors around our main room and the maximum suite. So please go by and see them because once again, we are operating our competition. So every time you visit an exhibitor stand, you get a nice stamp and you've got a possibility for a prize at the end of the day. I don't know what the prize is, but I'm sure it'll be amazing. Always is. And also the partners themselves are offering prizes individually. So you've got to be in it to win it. So go and see them. They've got some fantastic things to talk to you about. They want to pick your brains as well. So fantastic, fantastic. Then we will go straight into the day where I guess me and you will be kicking the show off, emceeing the double act on stage live. I'll be jumping off very quickly, Jamie. Don't worry. I'm not taking up too much of people's time. And we go straight into panel 1, as we've touched on at the beginning, which is all about AP people in an automated world. So that is where Karen Young will be joining that panel. We'll have Mandy Wilson moderating for the first time, and cheeky panelists Nicholas and Tony, which, yeah, I'm looking forward to that prep call next week, guys. Brad Burton will take the stage. Then we'll have a break so you can go and get around those exhibitors for more competitions. And then we go into panel 2, which is all about P2P. So we'll have some procurement professionals and some AP professionals debating live on the stage. I'll put it like that. And then I think there's who's this guy called Jamie Radford? And the icon that is Mary Schaefer will be taking the stage for a Q&A. So start thinking, guys. It is live and interactive, that session. So anything you've ever wanted to ask Jamie, you can ask him live on the stage. You can't get out of it. And then after lunch, we'll go into our partner-led workshops. So again, you'll have a couple of different options there. So if you log on to our website, you can see what options are available and sort of make your selection in advance. And then to close off, we have the amazing keynote speakers of Roger Black and Steve Backley. And I can't wait to see what they're going to do. And then that's it. And then we'll go straight into the evening. Whistle stop.
Well, look, Kat, I mean, again, even talking through it tires you out because we've got so much. We try and cram in so much, and part of what we always take feedback each year, don't we? So we always listen to our audience. We listen to what they like, what they think they could improve. So what we've done this year is we've given you plenty of time to network as well. So part of the lunch hour is for you to network, meet our partners, our solution partners, our people that really help us support you in getting you to conferences. So take that time to go and meet them, network with one another, go and make sure you're chatting and networking and building your network as well. And as Kat said, all of the panels are all by industry experts. We don't bring people on stage to try and sell you anything. We don't do that. That's not what we do. They're coming on stage. They're all network from our network. They're all experts in what they do, real life experiences. So every panel is all real life experiences. Yeah, and the session in the afternoon with Roger and Steve, I've seen one of them speak, actually, not both of them together, but I've been assured that their story, their inspiration is just mind blowing. So that should be brilliant. And as we roll into, we roll into the evening bit. The gala dinner always sells out now. It's the awards to be at. There's lots of pretenders out there, Kat, let's call them that want to be an awards ceremony. Now, we're not the BAFTAs, we're not the Oscars. We're the APAs for 2025, but it's an amazing session. We've got Ed James, who we'll announce very shortly. So if you're in the Midlands or you listen to Radio WM, he used to be a Heart DJ. He's a friend of mine. I've known him for many years. In my past, I used to be the financial controller at Heart FM. So if you know Ed James, he's an amazing MC. He'll be supporting us on the evening. We've got live bands. We've got entertainment throughout the evening. Lots of things going on. I think the theme this year, Kat, is masquerade, which I think means we dress up with masks, I guess. Don't know, which is cool. One of the asks, Kat, is each year we support a charity. This year the charity has been chosen. And do you want to give us a bit of detail on the charity that we've chosen this year, Kat?
Yeah, so the charity this year is Kidney Care UK. So very, very special to me. And from what I've learned over the last couple of weeks, and a number of our community who have gone through similar issues, and who knew kidneys were such a problem for everybody. But yeah, so we don't know what the charity challenge is yet, because we're going to finalize that this afternoon on the influencer call. But yeah, very near and dear to my heart, and really appreciate anyone who chooses to get involved in that.
Brilliant. Thank you for that, Kat. And yeah, so it's not only close to Kat's heart, it's close to our community. And as Kat mentioned, last year, Stuart Griffiths, who you can see in the comments, Stuart and I challenged each other. We did 100 press-ups on stage. And yeah, we did a really good job in tuxedos, very sweaty. We raised lots of money for charity. We're doing something similar this year. So if you're watching this live, which I think there's quite a few, what can we do? It's 4 weeks. What would you like to see? Who would you like to see on stage? And what's the challenge? What are they going to do to raise a bit of money? As always, more than happy for me to jump on stage and make a fool of myself, as long as it doesn't involve running. But anything you can come up with, let Kat and I jump in the comments. I'm sure we'll come up with something. We're on with the influencers this afternoon. Kat's going to ask them again, and they're always coming up with great ideas. And look, we're always looking, but it's a bit of fun. It injects that humour a little bit, and it's something we can raise money. It's for a brilliant charity this year. So please, absolutely, one, think about what we can do, and two, if you can, I know it's tight out there at the moment, but if you can dig deep, it's a brilliant charity. So Kat, so we finish out the day. We've got the gala dinner, we've got the awards, which we'll all be celebrating, and then we're boogieing into the night. And that's where Costas comes into his own. As we all know, Costas, he's the twerk king, or whatever they call it. I was going to call him a twerp, but he's not. He's the twerk king. He goes around and tell everybody what a great twerker he is. Maybe that's the challenge. Maybe that's what it is. Cos and I jump on stage and we have a twerk competition. What do you reckon, Kat? I don't know. But yeah, so we'll boogie the night away. Most important part, Kat, as you know, celebrate our awards. There you go. Tickle Kat now. You can imagine me twerking. That's what it is. Here we go. Here we go. That's not a challenge, by the way. I'm not going on stage working. So as I mentioned earlier, Chitty is amazing. The awards will be phenomenal this year. It's our 10th anniversary, so you've got to be there after becoming supporters if you can. Any final words? Amazing chats in the community here. Any final words before we close out today?
No, just thank you everyone for joining us on these top 10 at 10s. And again, if you haven't claimed your tickets, please
there is
contact
a slight delay on Kat's end with the internet. What we'll do at that point, close out there. Okay, cool. There we go. Thank you, Kat. I think there's a slight delay on the internet lag here. So as always, thank you so much for everybody that's dialed in this morning. I think with the iffy web today, we've had some issues with technology. Mine or internet's been dipping in. We'll blame the internet. There you go. And just with that, Kat disappears and she comes back like a ghost. You've been amazing. Thank you so much again. Next week, we go into that final countdown again. So we'll just go into that final sort of 3 weeks in from Tuesday next week. So if you've got any thoughts about what you want to see on the Mary, we are answering questions live on the day. Give us a shout. And remember, think of those ideas for the gala dinner, for challenge, whatever it's called.